How many of you want to change the world? How many of you want to feel like you make a difference, like you matter, that you're worth something? I think for all of us, that's something that we really hope for, and ultimately that's something that we want. And for me, since before I can remember, that's always been something that's been on my mind. How do I matter? What difference am I making? How am I helping the world? And I think oftentimes we get really caught up in saying, like, I have to become the next inventor of the Apple iPhone. I have to be that person to like cure cancer. But I don't think we oftentimes think about those little things that we're doing every day. That good morning that we heard about. The passing by, the little things that we do and we say when we're with people around us. I know for me, it was around the time of senior year in high school. We were all really anxious and really excited, ready to go off to college, daydreaming about who our roommates are going to be and where we're going to do and what we're going to study and that kind of thing. And we were really anxious to see like what was going to happen next. And I was with my group of friends and we were really saying our final goodbyes. It felt like we were on to the next journey of our life, and we didn't know when we'd see each other next. And we hoped it would be winter break, but who knew what would happen in between and how much we would change. And so it was in that period I was with a group of friends. One was going to Ohio State, I was going to Georgia Tech, another one was going to New York University, and we were handing over our final like letters and memories. And I remember there's one person who would always avoid, up until that point, saying anything about the fact that she was going to college. You know, she just seemed as if she would just be going to Georgia Tech along with a big group of us that were coming from an in-state high school. And it wasn't until the very last day when she had to leave for NYU, which was a week into Georgia Tech's college starting, that she handed me very privately a hat and a letter. And the hat had hand-drawn a buzz and my name on the back. And that was the sweetest thing. When I put it on, I was like, I don't usually wear hats, but that day I wore it, and I wore it proudly. And I was happy to call her my friend. But I think what touched me the most, and what I would say is the best compliment I could have ever received, was the letter. And I opened it up in this envelope, and it's a friend who I just thought of always as a friend, and someone that, you know, like meant a lot to me, but never someone that I thought too much about, never someone I probably took for granted. And I remember reading this letter and going into tears. Because in this letter she described how she remembered 2 years ago when she first met me, and when we were walking in between classes, and she was new to the school and she didn't know anybody, and there was someone else she knew that was a mutual friend of ours, and we were walking to class, and I just turned to her one day and I just started talking to her, and I just said hi, and we did that as her daily ritual every single day, walking from math to science. And it was just normal. For me, it was something that I never thought about. I never thought twice about the fact that I was just talking to another person. For me, it was just another friend and another friendly conversation that I would have to keep myself occupied between the walk between classes. But for her, I remember reading the letter and her describing how much it meant to her, and how much that simple gesture of talking to her helped her realize and have faith that people can be nice just for the sake of being nice. That people can be genuinely kind and wanting to serve their community and wanting to just be good people. And that, she told me, inspired her to actually start serving, not just for the service hours, which are usually required for high school and in order to get into college, but to really do it and put her whole soul into it. And to the point that she was getting awards for a nonprofit that she had started that was helping tutor kids and give them a good education. And that's something I never once thought about, and never once did I ever think that was possible. And to me, like, that is the evidence of the fact that everything that we do counts. You don't have to be the next Steve Jobs, you don't have to be the next Zuckerberg, Mother Teresa, but the actions that we take, the way that we interact with people that we care about, with people that we don't care about necessarily, and the way that we carry ourselves, everything matters and